Hi folks, welcome to the video. This is Hardly Gaming, and as you can see, we did not have any planet-side footage for today. I am one of those people who are currently suffering from the being unable to start the game bug. It's all over like Twitter and on the forums. Basically, I don't like I click on it, it will tell me it's running for about 10 seconds. I won't get a launcher, and then it will just go to closed again. I've tried reinstalling it. I also completely uninstalled it, and then also downloaded the launcher from the website. Tried it out, didn't work. But as of last night, other people had said they'd had the same issues, so it was quite comforting in a way that it wasn't just on my end. So I thought I'd just kind of go back to play, to do something to make a video, and just kind of showcase a game I bought. I actually played this in the beta. This is Wolcen or Wolcen. I believe I believe it's spelled the way it's pronounced would be Wolcen. This is a top-down game, very similar to games like Diablo and Path of Exile. Very much the same kind of idea as well. You know, we've got a loot-based system, and then farming missions to gain better loot. It did not have a particularly good launch. As I said, I played in the beta, got about 40-50 hours in over the month or so that I was involved. Really enjoyed it, and then the beta launched. All of our characters were wiped. All of our inventories were wiped. Everything was those of us that played in the beta got nothing for it. We didn't get any, even if it's given us an extra stash tab, you know, in our loot box, then maybe that would have been something. But we got nothing. And then I don't know if you guys know the Spiff and Brett, I think it was, made a video about this and about a particular glitch you could use in it to get money. And I did do it. I did use it. The gold in this game has always been one of the biggest issues, biggest drags to it. And I mean, I didn't go silly with it. Some people went out and got billions of gold. I got about 2 million and left it at that, and I was happy with that. Basically, it meant I'd never have to worry about money. As I said, it's one of the biggest drags in the game. I'm playing this game now at what you'd consider a high end game level, and I simply can't afford to do anything because all the money I earn goes to trying to upgrade my equipment. You know, to the point where I can complete the missions, and you just don't get money. But take that aside, it's actually a very solid game. It's got really good mechanics, really good visuals. I'll go into a mission and show you guys, and like the way it looks and feels and sounds is actually really well done. A lot of people would say, why play this game where you could just play Path of Exile for free? I have played Path of Exile. I've got about 200-300 hours in Path of Exile. The thing with this game is you can tell that it's a game that you spend money on. So you can tell it's not a free-to-play game. It's just more polished. So yeah, here I am. This is my character. Same name, Phantom. And this is my setup. I've got one thing I like about Wolcen is I could tomorrow decide to make this character an archer, and it's not like I'm locked in a class. I'd have to farm out completely new gear, but like I went mage, but that's just happened to be the way I've gone. You do not have to do that. You can go purely melee. You can do archer. You can do a mix of everything. I could have a mage archer. I can have a tanky rogue. No, you can do anything you want, and I really like that about them. So as you can see, very similar kind of UI here set up for your loot. I've got some pretty good stuff here, and as I didn't play this game for months after they took all my money, because that's the thing. The developers came in and essentially wiped everyone who'd done the hack down and put them down to 200,000 gold. You can farm out 200,000 gold in about an hour. So I had about 80 hours at this point in the main game. So the way I looked at it is I exploited something that they had allowed into the game, and then I was punished for it. When the reason that their explanation was that because it's a multiplayer game, it would ruin the market. But there's no multiplayer, guys. There is and there isn't. You can only join games if you have the people all like there. So your friends can come and join games, or you can join their games. It's not like there's no auto join option. There's no server list that I can just click on someone's game and join it. There's none of that. So there is no online marketplace for them to have ruined it. And I think knocking everyone down to 200,000 was a bit of a joke, because I would have had more money than that just from playing the game. And I left quickly after that. And simple fact is, and I'm going to show you, the main reason is things like this, right? So if I was to want to take this and... Oh, I don't want to do that. If I was to want to take these gems out of here... Wait, am I clicking on one? There. It would cost me 20,000 gold just to take the gems out of that piece of item. 20,000 gold, and I know you guys probably don't understand because you don't know what the game is. 20,000 gold is what you'd earn pretty much on a full run through at the level that I'm playing at. And as I said, I'm pretty much end game right now, so I'm doing like the highest level stuff, killing hordes of enemies, selling the highest level gear, and that's one run through, about 20 minutes, 20,000 gold, just to remove gems. That doesn't count rolling for the sockets. Like, you have to roll to get these sockets. It's all RNG to get the type and level. There's 3 different tier sockets, and then the gems go in the sockets. And yeah, it's the amount of money you sink in, not in game, not real life money, but it's like the amount of gold you sink into your inventory slots and all that. It can get a bit silly. So yeah, gold has always been a drag, and plus they added this this page in here to basically for like people to grind, and it's again ridiculous. The kind of resources you need, 100,000 gold there to unlock that, 500,000 gold to unlock that, another 1,000,000 gold with 24,000 of those. Can't remember what they're called, but basically at the moment I'm using all of them. When I get them, I need to use them to try and tweak my build and make it as strong as possible, sorry. But yeah, I will be playing this game a little bit longer, but I can't see myself sinking much more time into it. I would recommend it because, as I said, the actual gameplay is really good fun and it's really well done. And as I said, I'm just going to jump straight in. So what I'm going to do is basically you've got 2 options here. You can do a mandate or an expedition. I don't really understand the expedition thing. I can't seem to get anything above level 55, and as you can see, I'm level 65. There's no other options for me to increase this. I don't know if I need to do anything in particular to unlock that. I didn't have a little check. But I'm going to go here and do a mandate. So I'm just going to click on this, and you basically just get like a randomly generated map, which starts here. So I'm going to head in, and I'll meet you guys in there. Okay, so I've got this one then. It says all randomly generated, and I've got this here, which doesn't happen every mission. Basically, it gives you a more difficult map, but you get a higher reward. So I'm going to click accept. So I've now got chance of enemies to explode in death, and I get a little bit extra magic find, a bit more item quantity, and as it's all RNG, so the more you get, the more chances of better stuff. And productivity, that is what you use to upgrade those settlement things I showed you in the tab just in. So I'm going to get started. I might have to concentrate, so we'll see. So the enemies are blown up though, aren't they? Now, my character is pretty powerful. The only thing that she really struggles with is enemy bosses with high single target damage. Like that. You get 3 times per mission to revive yourself. Ooh. I haven't had one of these in a while. I don't use maces, but basically, as you'd probably expect, there's different tiers of loot dependent on colour. So grey is standard, and then blue is not, like, you know what it is. Yellow is kind of what I'm looking for. Red is unique items, and probably so there's the highest level. And the objective is to try and kill enemies to get this bar to the top. Once I've done that, then that's me finished the map. I can keep going, which I usually do. Depends how much luck I'm getting in the mission. Now, unlike a lot of games, the resources of this game, you have to be very careful with them. You can't just run into a map and spam magic. I am, because I built my entire build around having my stuff as cheap as possible. But it's basically, it's this here, these 2 bars. You have willpower and you have rage. Now willpower is what I use for magic. However, I do still generate rage, though not much. And basically your abilities cost either willpower or rage. So this is why you can build hybrid builds, but it is generally better to focus. Because you can then build your build around reducing cost of willpower and having willpower on your items. But we watch out for these exploding enemies. And the thing as well, I have got my setup. I said my character is really quite high level now. But if I desperately needed to, I could use my standard attack. So I have a staff. Ooh. And this is something that this game has always been guilty of, is the higher level characters, all they do is just cause instant death. It was so bad though when it was first launched. Like, the beta was fine, the beta was fine. And then once the game launched, you go into a map and just be instantly killed. You sometimes get these shrines dotted around the map. When you activate them, either they can give you bonuses, or they can spawn extra enemies. Sometimes they'll just give you items, which is nice. Some people might ask about my build. It's just a standard consuming embers build, to be honest. A few little tweaks here now, more personal preference. I will show it quickly at the end. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's quite easy to copy once you have the kind of basics. And I like the way they've done the build system in this. It's quite similar to the Path of Exile build kind of setup, and it's like a wheels that you work around. And it's all about trying to get as much from your skill points as possible. Did I kill that boss guy? Yes, I did. I did go up another level today. It's quite rare for me to go up levels. So yeah, I'm actually not far now. Usually takes about 4 or 5 missions for me to go up a level. And I've moved on to the next gem tier as such. So the kind of thing that I might have to do now is start saving up to remove the gems that I currently have to put on the high level gems when I get them. The gems will give you different attributes depending on which skill tier slot you put them in. Another thing that Wolcen did really well was the cosmetic item, the cosmetic system. Like every single character in Wolcen will be unique. There will never be two player characters that will be identical. Can I show you in here? Yes. So this is the system that we get. Basically, you collect new items. You can then put them on. It does cost a bit of money. But it's it's a really nice system. You can change your colors as well, and you can customize every single bit like part of your items or your how it looks, and that I think is a good option to do. Again, though, the fact you can't just join in with other players, I think that I don't know when you think about it, guys. What was the biggest success of like the Diablo and Path of Exile games? And it was the fact that you could play with other players. And in this game, they made it difficult to play with other players. This here, it's a healing spell basically, but it also does AoE damage. And I've upgraded it so that when I'm standing in it, I do a particular type of damage called Sacred. And my build allows me that if I hit someone who's at 20%, must be up here to the left maybe. If I hit anyone who got 20% or less health left with Sacred damage, they instantly die. So quite tricky with all this stuff going up. I'm not picking up things like Warhammers because I don't use them. Because this character's all about rage damage. So that's me now got to the max level there. So I'm not max level, but that's me finished the mission as such. I could go through and finish up. But I am going to continue on just because look at all these enemies still here. And every single one of them you have a chance of dropping that one item that you need or you want. There's a crate there as well. The crates as well come in different levels. So blue crates are quite rare. Rarest of red. And they'll just have a higher chance of having an item, of a high level item in them. Oh, I'm throw up. So I don't use that, but I've actually only got the one unique item on, which is pretty much perfect for my build because my build is all about fire damage. this spell here that I'm using, it not only does really good damage, it also kind of sucks them in. So it's really good at crowd control. And it continuously damages them as well when it sucks them in. I don't know if I can come back if I leave. I want to go down. That thing in the map there, basically, it takes you into like another little chamber. Like a downstairs part of the map, just a little bit. And you can usually get some really nice stuff in them. Right, let's just have a look at what I've got. Where am I? Let's have a quick look at what I've got here. I have been kind of looking for a new... I'll keep that for now. I've been kind of looking for a new chess piece. Oh, oops. Wrong button. My new keyboard. I've got a new keyboard. Well, I say I got a new keyboard. It's the same keyboard, and I had the same problem on a brand new one. That I'd had a couple weeks back. I don't know if you guys remember that. And it's just really sensitive keys. These are skills that you can unlock. If you already know it, it's a primordial affinity. That's what I meant to say earlier when I was looking at the structure things. It's one of your resources. It's just this one here. It lets you reset your passives, which is your passive tree. It's your skills. You can also use it to unlock things in that end game thing I told you about. So much down here. They're usually quite big, these areas with lots of stuff in them. Got one chest here. Alright. You can, if you continue on, you can just press T for tango, and it'll open up a town portal. Doesn't cost you anything, don't have to have scrolls, anything like that. And then it should be fine. So there's nothing really for me. This is the only spell thing, and I don't use them because I use the staff, which is a two-handed weapon. So that's the run through there, which is quite successful. You've got your different characters here. You can go to this woman down here. She deals with your skills. So these are all the skills that I know, and I can equip all of them. And it said some of them are for melee, some of them are for range, some of them are for crowd control. You have these other ones, but they don't do anything. I think maybe they were planning on adding them, but they never got into it. The gem lady, which I mentioned earlier. And then you have up here the main seller guy. He's the one that you go to sell your stuff. When you're doing the campaign, the palace is up this way. Got these guys that you can't interact with. Oh, yeah. So that's your palace there. And you can go in there and speak to the king, and he's like, that's where you go for the missions and all that. I think that must be a new addition, that kind of wee pan there, because I didn't used to do that. So I'm going to have a quick look at the shop, see if I want to sell. Well, I will be selling all of this, to be honest. What I'm looking for is base damage as being its primary stat. So almost all my gear, as you can see on the left here, has +% damage as one of the stats, which is what I'm looking for. Because elemental damage, it just doesn't do as much, which is weird because I'm firing out massive fireballs, but I'd much rather have 10% damage than 20% elemental damage. That's quite nice, actually. I'll keep it for now. What I like to do is I like to think about things and go back to them. No, because it's got no sockets on it as well. I'd have to roll for them, and it costs a lot of money because it's against RNG. You might get 3 sockets, but it'll be the wrong type that you want, or you might get 2 perfect and 1 wrong, and you have to, it's just a massive sink. And gold. Oh, I don't know. Let's have a look at it on. It is better, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. A little bit. Don't need it. Just out. Because I need the gold. Right, so my passive tree. This is this one here. So, the way I've gone, because these rings here can rotate, so you can get hundreds of variations, because you can have this ring go around here, so you can connect up to there and then connect through to a different ring, move it around. But the setup I've got at the moment is you want the assassin tree over here on your left, and you want to work your way down and get the maximum critical hit, critical damage, and critical hit chance. You're going to now want that will also put the cableless tree here as well, which you're unlocking these ones all here. And then you're going to want the EOS tree to kind of connect on here, because this gives you basic bit of space spell damage plus the sacred damage instant kill thing I told you about. So it's 15%, sorry, not 20%. So basically, if I hit you and you got 50% health left, you die instantly. So it's very, very powerful. For that should actually be it, because all this stuff is connected. So I mean, you've got your ranger over here, because when using the consuming embers, they count as projectiles, and these things buff projectile damage. So it buffs your projectile, it buffs your spells. This one up here as well, Archeon's Teachings, +1 projectile. You do get 50% less damage, but you gain an extra projectile. So that's how I'm getting a 3 coming out. So I'm getting 1 from here and then 1 from the spell itself. And then you're going to head up to the Oracle of the Trinity just to get a little bit of the chords, which are really nice. As I say, guys, I had a build very similar to this, but this build is not mine. I'm not claiming ownership. This is pretty much the standard consuming M builds out there. I don't know. I have edited it a little bit, and my next points will go into these 2 trees here, which I really like. Basically, they help projectiles. So like this one here, you'll get more critical hit chance of your projectile, again critical hit chance, and then this one, all projectiles pierce every target within a 6-meter radius, so it's like makes them really, really good against crowd damage. And then this one here as well, you get more damage the farther away you are. As long as you're 15 meters away, you're doing 175% extra damage. So these will be the next trees I work my way down. But yeah, that's that. And then when it comes to your attributes, I've been kind of messing about with these. I because the way it was just after the game officially launched, where you were just getting one-shotted constantly and that, I had every single point in toughness, but I've now moved every single point into ferocity, and that really affects your skills and all that. So this is your skill tree here. I will take these away because I'm only using mine with a staff, which is this marker here. So these are all the abilities that I could use, and then basically you level them up as well. So this is currently level 66, which is pretty much my level. The ones I use basically will be max level, so 67. Excuse me. Yeah. So for these ones, what I've done is the ether jump, which is possibly the most useful mage skill you can get. Basically, it's a teleport one you saw. It's kind of, I mean, these are all personal preference, but Quantum Mind, Escape Artist, Hypocosmic Flight, Feeding the Ether, Auspex is Arrogance, Continuum Expertise, Breath of Time, and Time Paradox. That's what I use for that. For my Bulwark of Dawn, which, as I said, is a healer, the healing ability, which also has like a AoE damage and also changes my damage to sacred whilst I'm in it. I've unlocked Everlasting Aurora, Sacred Grounds. That's what gives me the AoE there. Blade of Truth, which is what makes my stuff sacred damage, which is really nice. It decreases the cooldown. Basically, I can just cast it more frequently. Increases the duration of it as well. The cooldown will be triggered when you cast it. So if that can stay up for 8 seconds, that means I've only got potentially 4 or 5 seconds between having it like cast. So yeah, 3 seconds, and I can cast it again because the cooldown reacts from when I initiate, not when the spell ends. And then Divine Omnipresence. So that's what allows it to follow me around, because normally this is a place item. You place it and it just stays on a spot, where with that it comes with me, which is really strong. My third one I'm using is the Anomaly. Basically that's what you saw me using crowd control there. And this is slightly different from a lot of people guidance, so I use this one here, which is Dislocating Threads, increases the skill's area effect. Event Horizon, that's what damages the enemies, does lots of damage. Really, it's actually really powerful. Echo Wave, it basically increases the damage. It increases lightning, which helps with the status effects from your passive abilities. So if you can hit them with this, then the enemies are going to take lots of damage. Temporal Dilation increases duration, again helps with like cooldowns and all that. And then Echoes of Infinity, the vortex pulls in enemies multiple times, so that's where the crowd controls, because they get pulled in and they try and get away, they get pulled again. So yeah, that's what I would do. And the last one that I use is the Tears of Ephelia. That's basically like a big meteor that I can use if I really need to, like on bosses. And the way I've set up is this Sorrowful Attunement dramatically reduces the cost, decreases the cooldown. Probably, I mean, thinking about that, like I don't really use it, but I'm not really gonna. Yeah, that'll be fine. It's got my fire. Confirm. Yeah, because it's a basic. It's a fire spell. Sorry, it's an ice spell. Sorry. And I changed it to fire, obviously, because I'm a fire mage. Gives me a bit more damage as well. Increased damage again. Increases the skill's area of effect, so I can hit a full squad. You know what I mean? Let's go 4 guys. Decreases the cooldown. And increases the ailment chance. So basically, when it hits, if anything is left alive, they're going to have a dot on them. They'll probably die from that. I don't use this all that much. As I said, it's more of a kind of like a heavy hitter. Costs lots of energy to cast. But can be useful against bosses and all that. And of course, the Consuming Embers, which is the my big spell. Well, that's what this whole build is built around. So that's the one you want to use with this. Casting Spark basically increases your attack speed with it. Passion's Flame increases damage dealt with a skill. Arsonist's Daydream dramatically reduces the cost of it. Meteor Shower, which is what I told you about earlier. This gives me an extra projectile. I do lose another 30% damage. So you can go either that, or you can go that, and it kind of depends. I mean, look, it's not. I mean, that's taking 30% damage, and yet there's only about 100 damage difference. So I'd stick with Meteor Shower. Basically, you can actually go for both though. You can actually have up to 4 projectiles, but that would be really expensive. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. And then Engulfing Desires increases the skill's area effect. I would highly recommend that over What's the other one? Heart Piercer. That's the one they recommend. I don't like it. I mean, it's minus 50% damage, guys. It's way too much. It looks brilliant. I'll show you guys. Like, it looks really good, but it's just not useful. Where's that other one? Damage, there we go. I'm so confused. What have I taken off here? Is that what I took off? No, it wasn't. There's that one. Yeah, that was it. Yes. I'm so confused. Yes. So yeah, definitely go for the Engulfing Desires over Heart Piercer. 2.5 meters puts you up quite high. You can still easily, as you saw, deal with groups. And the last one is Object of Desire. When cast, a skill grants a buff to the damage you deal with the base damage type of a skill, allies within the skill area of... but basically, when I hit you with this fire spell, then I basically do more damage with fire spells, including this one. So from the first cast, everything is increased, as well as the tears as well, which also causes fire damage. I think you can even get this to cause fire damage. I'm not sure. I need to check. So yeah, this is a good option to have. And that's it for that, guys. When it comes to your gear pieces, kind of depends what you want to go with. As I try to get as much basic damage on my stuff as possible, so pretty much everything has base damage on it. That doesn't, but as you can see, it actually gives me some really nice other stuff there. And again, that doesn't beg getting 20% extra rage and willpower, cost decrease, toughness, extra shield, extra health. That gives me another 18% damage. That gives me damage to burning enemies, which, although it does mean I take more damage from burning enemies, so I do have to be kind of careful with it. That does give me life leech from fire damage as well, so when I cause fire damage, I gain health back. Really, really nice. Just nice doing that. So yeah, guys, that is it. Overall, I would actually recommend this game. Just don't expect it to be something you're going to sink a lot of time into. And I mean, once you kind of get up to my level, there's really nothing to do than just grinding. There's no real sense of progression. I do it just because I like the big flashing noises and for that, But said the cosmetics thing is really nice. So this is my girl here. I can't. I don't know, guys. This was not intentional. I just there isn't really a nice armored set of legs. I mean, I wanted to make her look like an actual soldier, not like an anime schoolgirl. Well, she still ended up like that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to finish the video there. Hopefully, they'll fix this problem with PlanetSide 2 as soon as possible, and I'll get back to doing that. And if not, I'll just keep thinking up new things to do for these. But anyway, guys, if you made it this far, thank you. Thank you for joining me. If you like this content, guys, if you're new to the channel, if you just want to maybe have a look to see what Wolcen is, yeah. So I mean, I mainly do PlanetSide 2 stuff right now, but that might change. We don't know. Still quite new to this whole YouTube thing. We've only been doing it for about 6 months or so now. Anyway, guys, if you do like it, please remember to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.